Have you ever been told that you need to show greater empathy? Everyone's talking about empathy and why it's so important. But not everyone tells us what we can do to become more empathetic. Well, here's a simple formula I want to share with you today to try and help you become better at empathy. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chai with Pi, our series of videos where I try and share simple stories and lessons to help each of us become just a little bit better. If you've ever been to an Apple store, you would have been blown away by what you experienced over there. Some of my fondest memories of a retail experience have been time spent inside an Apple store in some corner of the world. It's not like it just happens by magic. The salespeople, the staff, the people who work at the Genius Bar at the Apple store are all trained to understand and handle consumers and customers. You can imagine it can't be easy being in a store where people are bringing in expensive phones and tabs and their MacBooks and complaining about something that may have gone wrong. But these guys and girls who work at the Apple store are all trained in what they call the 3F framework. It's a framework that works for Apple. It's a framework that can work for you and me too. What is the 3F framework? The 3F really stands for this. It says feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, and found. Those are the three words that typify what a Genius Bar or a genius at the Genius Bar at the Apple store is expected to do when he or she has to handle an irate customer. So imagine for a minute that the customer walks in and looks at all these lovely products longingly and says, yeah, I think, but these are so expensive, ridiculous pricing. I think Apple products are so crazily expensive. And look, I bought this phone and this works almost as well and it costs like a third of an Apple phone, right? What do? Do you tell them, nah, that's a product made in another country, or that is not quite as cool to own as an Apple iPhone? No, you don't do that. The minute a customer walks in and complains about the price of an Apple product, here's what the Apple staff are trained to say. They're trained to use the 3F framework. And they say, yeah, I can understand how you feel about the price of these phones. You know what? I felt that way too. And then, here's what I found. I found that once you start using an iPhone, it's just magical. The way it interfaces with the rest of your devices, the kind of things it does, the way it understands you is so good that it just seems like it's worth every penny that you're spending on it. But I can understand how you feel because, I felt that way too. But it's only after I actually bought a phone that I found how much value there is in an iPhone. Feel, felt, found. It's a proven formula to try and understand somebody else's point of view. When you say, I can understand how you feel, what you're doing is to say that I can understand your emotions. I know what it feels like, right? And then you say, I felt that way. So you're now using what that person has felt to say, hey, it's not like I'm finding it strange to understand, or I can't understand how how dumb you are that you don't see the value in an Apple product. You say that, hey, you've been there before. You've felt that too. And having used the feel and the felt, you get to, what did you find? And you now try and relate the emotions of the other person, your own feelings, to a little story, to a real experience of what actually happened. This is not to say that, if you buy an iPhone, you will then find that it is great. You are saying you've experienced it. You're not trying to make a statement of you believe or they believe. You're saying you have experienced it. This is real. This is a true story. It is such a powerful framework, and it's something that all of us can use as we try and deal with colleagues and friends and family. Every time someone comes to you with a complaint or feels that something is not right, our temptation is to either tell them upfront that they are wrong, or to tell them, I'm so surprised you think that, because I think it's great. So someone tells you that's a terrible restaurant, it's overpriced. You say, really? Huh? You clearly don't know what a good restaurant is all about. Or you think it's a great restaurant, right? Or worse, you can tell them, oh, you think like that? Who cares? Yeah, you should look at the ratings in the newspapers. It's got such good ratings, right? None of that matters. A good way to try and handle that would be to use I understand how you feel, the first F. I felt that way too, that's the second F. But hey, here's what I have found. Feel, felt, found. Try it and watch your empathy scores soar. Take it from me. I know how it feels when someone tells you that your empathy scores are bad. I felt that way too, because it's happened to me. But when I use the 3F framework, I found that people genuinely warm up to you. Try it and let me know if it works for you. That's all in this week's Chai with Pi. If you think there's somebody out there who could do with a primer on empathy, do share this video. Until next time, stay safe and of course, remember to enjoy your chai.